And welcome back to the Library Boxes of Trenton podcast. This is segment 4 and a final segment. I'm going to be sitting with my friend Bart Jackson, who is an author. He's also a publisher. And you can find him on social media. His website is bartsbooks.com, and you can look up Prometheus Publishing out of Cranberry, New Jersey as well. We're going to be talking in this segment, CEO of Yourself. Now, this is a book that Bart has just finished. I was fortunate enough to read the manuscript and provide some thoughts prior to it being written. Bart, thank you for putting this together and including a little portion of me in it as well. But during our conversations over the years, this became evident when we talk about CEO of Yourself, because I know one of the conversations we had at your office was that whether you need to make $100,000, if you get it from one location or you get $10,000 gigs for the year, you're still making $100,000.
Frankly, Scarlett.
And I think that you and I agreed that our generation was the one that thought, hey, you finish school, you get a job, you stay there 30 years, you do what you have to do,
right.
You retire, you're off into the sunset. This current culture, they know that is more than likely not going to happen. So let's talk about the book.
Okay, well, you're absolutely right, because millennials have a secret that the rest of us old farts ignore, and that is that they know that there's a darn likely chance that they're going to get out of, they're going to finish school, and they're facing them 70 years of labor, of productive laboring years. And do you want to do one thing for 70 years? Gosh, I mean, most people don't want to do one thing for 70 days, but I mean, so that's why they know. So they will start, and they realize that life is a series. Mm-hmm. But to move on with this, I have a little section. I started the first radio show, and it just came to me. We're talking about CEOs and the art of the CEO. And I said, the good Lord has gifted you with the title and privileges of Chief Executive Officer of Yourself. And since that's really the most important job you'll ever have in your career, allow me to ask, will this be the day that you dust off your dreams and take one step toward fulfilling one of them? Or will you continue to keep your nose down in routine because someone else has suggested you do it? The choice, my friend, is truly yours. And that's what this book is about. This book is about the choices, and most of us don't take the choices because for one of two reasons. Number one, we don't see the choices that are ours to make, or we don't see them. We see them as a choice, but we don't think that they're ours for the choosing. And I mean, a perfect example of this is when we come to your career. You think what job today and so forth. And there's a great there's an old line that says, what is your trade? It's an old term, but I like it because it helps you remember when you tighten your tie and tool belt what you're going off to. You are trading some of what you do have in surplus, your strong back, your accounting mind, whatever, for the things that you dearly want, the White House on the Hill, to be able to pay this week's rent, whatever. And so that's part of what you're doing. But there is another thing that you're doing. You're going to scratch your creative itch. And so I talk a few things about this book. And the one thing I would like to bring up, one of the initial things, is that I have a chapter called Your Marvelous Self. And if you don't think of yourself as marvelous, you are either... You're not looking hard enough. You're looking in the wrong rooms of your house, or maybe you're not looking because you're standing in the shadow of somebody else. Mm-hmm. No one ever won a horse race. No horse ever wins a race by looking at the competition on the side. He looks where he's going. Mm-hmm. And I think this is it. We all have strengths, things that abilities that we're good at, mm-hmm. And everyone except the one my wife and I. But then we have things called, and our interests. I like woodworking or something like that. We also have something called proclivities, which is what I call things we tend to do, and there is where your hidden abilities often lie. Mm-hmm. I find that I have a proclivity toward humor, and although some people said I've never told a joke yet, or a funny one,
or a good one.
Yeah, never told a good one.
Don't worry about that.
Like Charles I never said a foolish thing and never did a wise one. Nonetheless, but we have that, and you all have that. And you have to take a tour of the warehouse and find what you got. But the other thing is about the choices. is that there's a whole army out there. I call them beggars at your door. This is what is coming to get you.
Sorry, Bart, we're going to have to stop because the video